and wasted time. I got nothing to show for all the wasted time, except the trouble, worried mind.
Okay, we're back on the 1949 Grand Prix Triumph, the ex-Dave Powell, Jerry Clark machine.
Made a fair bit of progress.
We have made a fair bit of progress. I've painted the tank. And I've had it pinstriped by Glenn Quinton of GQ Designs in Bendigo.
He's done a fantastic job, as usual.
He's a good guy, really nice guy, easy to talk to. And he's done a beautiful job, done with a paintbrush. It's not bits of tape stuck on, it's actually done with a paintbrush.
Like it would have been.
Yep, I caught him doing it, so I know that for sure. Now, I've found 4 little bolts that screw in here. I've mucked around with those and got those so that they screw in there. Now what we're going to do is we've got to get...
a bit of a stencil.
Yep, and we'll make a chin pad or a chest pad that goes on there that sits up just about as high as the petrol cap.
Yep. We'll hopefully get Dan Trim to do that.
Yep.
We'll see if we can get a leather one made up, which would be good.
Yeah, we'll get one made up at Dan Trim. And I rang Armours in England about some exhaust pipes, because they seem to be the only ones that made them for this particular model bike. And I got a young lady there who I said to her I need some engine pipes for a Grand Prix Triumph, and she said yes. She said, I know what you want. It's a straight port head, 1.5 inch spigots on the head for the pipes to go on, and you want the megaphones. Now, do you want the megaphones with the rolled ends, or do you want them just with the sharp ends? And she said, we also make rolled end ones with baffles. And I said, well, that's what I'll have. I'll have the rolled end ones with baffles, because with the noise restrictions now, we'll be needing the baffles.
And we take those in and out.
We can take them in and out because I want to hear it without. It'll remind me of my friend Joe Painting's race kit Tiger 100 that we used to run in the 70s. The sound of that was absolutely awesome. So,
well, one of our subscribers, he actually gave us the heads up on where to get the pipes.
Yes.
Which was good. So that made it very easy, didn't it?
And the quality of Armour's pipes over the years on and off has been a bit up and down, but I'm very happy so far with these.
Oh, they look
They
fantastic.
seem to fit, and I've just got to do a few more little jobs before I actually permanently fit them. But it's looking good, and I'm going to make the back stand. I'm going to convert this stand here into a back stand so that we can park it easily. Now, at the moment, we're just doing a little bit of work on the front end. Seems to have a bit of an oil wipe out of one of the fork legs, so that mustn't be sealing up properly at the bottom. So we'll pull that apart and have a bit of a look at that. And we're just making the front mudguard fit better. We're altering the stays a little bit to make the front mudguard fit better. But it's well on the way. I've just got to clear lacquer the petrol tank. It's had a few days to cure, so I'll just clear lacquer the tank.
And we should be together for the British Rally.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We will be. Oh, that's the goal.
Yep.
I don't set goals usually, but I've set a goal because I want this finished so that we can take it to the British Rally.
Park her up over there.
Park her up there, and also thinking about other things we might be able to do with it. Of course, we will take it to Broadford, to the road race track, and we'll give it a bit of a run there. But I've thought about other things like the Eddington Sprints, Tarrangow Hill Climb, Geelong Revival.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get it out and about.
We'll get out and about as often as we can possibly do it.
And we'll get to a few shows.
Yes.
Yep. A few local shows, get it out.
Yep, now.
Around Central Victoria.
There's something else coming up too that I've spoken to the current Dave Powell over in Tasmania, whose grandfather had this bike when it was new. And I told him we'd like to do a bit of a story on Dave because he was such a prominent racer over there, and he won so many events and he set records, and he came second to Maury Quincy in the Victorian TT at Ballarat, come third behind Jeff Duke Scalera at Longford over in Tasmania on this bike. And I said to young Dave Powell, how would he feel if we did an article, a story for the Hagon factory and put it up on YouTube about his grandfather? And he was quite impressed with that idea. He thought that would be a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. So, we have a lot of information there too.
We've got a lot of information. We can write a bit of an article about him.
We're still getting more and more every day. He's in a lot of magazines, isn't he? A lot of old magazines.
His name appears in lots of magazines, especially in the Tracks in Time in the Old Bike Australia magazine.
Yep.
He appears quite a bit in old programs, old race programs. Yeah, so that's where we're up to.
No, it looks fantastic.
But it's getting really close. I think it's going to go quite well. It's got it's got all new cams, and the engine's been beautifully balanced and brand new carbs. So I think it'll perform.
It's got everything going for it.
It's got everything going for it. It's got the right maggie on it. It's got everything going for it. So we've just got to do a few detail jobs now, like
last 10%.
Yeah, that takes 50% of the time.
Yep.
We've got to put a throttle on it, kill button, put the front mudguard back on when we modify a few things there. Put the front brake together, which that's all done. That's just ready to pop together, so there's no extra work on that. I've fitted up an oil filter on it. It's not the correct oil filter for the bike.
But we will try and find one.
We're going to try and find one, and if anybody has one, it's called a Vokes, V-O-K-E-S, V for victory, Vokes oil filter, a little compact one about that size, which was the correct one for the bike. If anybody happens to have one of those,
yep, we'd be interested.
I'd like to own that, to put on this bike to make it as original as possible. But there's a few things on it that won't be original, but it's as near as we can get it.
Oh look, been an old race bike.
Being an old race bike, yeah, well, we know it's been crashed a few times and whatever, but it'll be close to original.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be close. It'll look very similar to how it would have looked when it was brand new.
Yes, it will. Yep.
And it should be a good talking piece. There'll be a lot of discussion about it.
Oh, there will be.
There'll be a lot of discussion, and I can tell you right now, there's people who are going to tell me that it's a fake, it's not real.
Oh, we've already had that.
Yeah, but this bike is real. We have the factory paperwork to prove it.
Yep.
And we know the full history of the bike, so we know that this is the real McCoy. It's the real deal.
It is. And doing these videos, it doesn't matter what we do, we're always going to be wrong. There's always someone that's...
There's always someone that's critical, but I can cope with that really well. It never bothers me at all.
No, well, me either.
No,
it's part of it. Everyone can have their opinion, and I'm glad people watch.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah. Other people's opinions are always interesting.
They are. But we've had a lot of help.
Absolutely.
Haven't we?
We've had a lot of help, and we've had a lot of interest in this bike.
Yes.
Because, like, at the end of the day, it's a very rare bike.
Yep.
The 4 went to Tassie. I'm not quite sure how many came to the mainland, but we could possibly find out.
We could find that out.
I think 6 went to New Zealand. I read somewhere where I think it was 6 went to New Zealand. And, America got a handful. And a few went to Europe. There's a lot of prominent people who rode these bikes. When you start reading up, there was Arthur Wheeler. He's well known. He was a Motor Guzzi rider and so on. He rode one of these in Europe. He campaigned one of these in what they used to call the Continental Circus.
Yeah.
And there was Sid Jensen, New Zealander. He campaigned one for years and with a lot of success. And so they won 2 Ironman 500 Grand Prix.
Yep.
1946 and 48.
Yep. But every time someone sort of picks on it a bit, someone always steps up and it gets the conversation happening. And with that one photo that we've got of Dave Powell, look at all that information that we got.
That's right. It all came through, didn't it? You discovered one photo of Dave Powell riding the Grand Prix Triumph, and unbelievably so, it turned out to be this bike.
Yeah.
And which I'm really, really pleased about. And young Dave Powell was ecstatic about the whole thing. He's rapt that this bike has surfaced.
Yep.
And that I have done something with it.
And hopefully we'll find out when Jerry Clark actually got the bike. We're still working on that.
Yeah.
So
we reckon it was about 1956 or 7 that he got it, and we think that he got it straight from Dave Powell, because Jerry only campaigned the bike till 1960.
yeah.
And
then Brian had a few rides
I
on
think
it.
Brian would have ridden it a few times. Brian Clark, who was a bit of a local star. Well, he was more than that. He was a star.
He's
rider.
absolute legend around here.
He was a bit of a legend around these parts, and he was a very good rider who rode short circuit, rode racing.
All great riders, all the Clarks. Yep.
Yep. And he was a top motocross rider. That's where he really made his name as a motocross rider, Brian Clark. But in the early days, he was a B grade rider on a Featherbed Norton Twig 500, a Dominator, and made his name for himself as a road racer on that bike. So, but he did ride Triumphs, and he would have ridden this
Yeah, excellent.
for sure. All right.
You're doing really well, and we'll keep updating it.
Yep.
And everyone will be there for the big startup. We'll make sure we get that on video as well, and the family there, and we can't wait.
Yep. And we might even, if we got it all together in one piece, might even bring it out to Llanelli and just put it on display at the swap meet.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. Same as every other week. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody. Let's bring Hagon.